think for Makaba about the POG political media. No, so see JWS and just say Ghana political highway. No, so not just say and also updates in the abo area. So actually, say the POG abeja for ebebo area. Man, I say about some POG abeja for no so near Koso Ghana political space. Now, but just so you for now subscribe here. I said they die and need you know go as well. Or subscribe to POG Media. No, I drop a subscription. Now I hit the notification bell. Now I share. No for so and so at me account. Now some of your board at the NPP I catch just and also some kitua. Now some ben a bubo free that a year abuapapo coaching simple so car say a year you are Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Yenny Pa SSOD a year among for the next election and also Ebekoso Sinyampa a 2028 election I be no yes omobesa edin kuku na we na ensem no ba na eboboba na no other na sendra you Napo and so called grantee interview be a just on also can be say political party no NPP among or no say on also be called as the flag bearer and also be running mate for any individual no on also man Onisa Adrimpon and also Onisa Trimpon so also be running for a vice and a running mate and also Obeko as the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party. Now how to also impose or share near 1 or 2 years on also better now the Nijumede for the NPP no and so about and we measure say the Belgium na ya boy the ransom medas.
Now after I had seen this, I also saw a video, right? Because yesterday, the New Patriotic Party that lost the 2024 elections, the most embarrassing defeat ever in Ghana's political history, less than 40%. And you know, if you are a studious person and you are interested in your studies and you are academic and you want to rise and you go to school regularly, you know that when you get 40% or less than 40%, you have actually failed. It's an F. Now the biocause were F9 or what does it? What do they call it? It's F9. In my days was just F, but now it's F9. Okay. Back in the day too, I think before it was 9, but now it is F9. So when you get that one, I don't know what that means on your computer. Yeah. But so F and 9, like WAEC has decided that the old system, the O and A level had, if you fail, you have 9. And then the new WAEC say, oh no, the new system to when you fail, it is F. So let's put it together. So now it's F9. So you have failed, you know, your parents, you have failed at home, you have failed your teacher, you have failed everybody. So it's F9, right? So anybody who goes to write an exam and consider an election as an exam and you fail the exam woefully like that, what you usually do, and as I proposed earlier, and I will get to something that somebody within the NPP has said, what you do when you fail an exam woefully like that and painfully like that, you would just have to go back. If it was dictation or mental, these days I don't know if the children do that, but if you fail like that, you go back into your conclave. And I gave that advice here right after the elections. You go back into your conclave, you ask yourself questions, what could have gone wrong? And then you start revising your notes and you start learning, because there will be a reset. And the reset will happen when the school determines that the reset will happen. Every student who has failed an exam before knows what I'm talking about. Every student who has failed before knows what I'm talking about. There will be a reset. The reset will not ask you whose fault it was, whether it was your fault, the fault of the vice chancellor or your lecturer or the head of department or your study group leader, or will ask you to, you know, point accusing figures at everybody else but yourself. No. The school will still ask you questions based on the curriculum, the syllabi that they have put before you. So when the NPP lost the elections painfully, I said, look, we need multi-party democracy in this country. So go into a conclave. Stop blaming everybody else but yourself. Go into a conclave. Sit down, pause, and reflect. Take a retrospective view and be very circumspect, because that could crush the party if you don't take it. I said that here. Look, play Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe's video for me. Play his video.
people have made comments. Today is when the party is going to receive the report. And the party will act on the report, not on the comments people have made.
So for you are just going to obey whatever the report says.
If you don't want to obey what the report says, you don't want to be a member of the party. Because what is in you, a single person's mind or utterance, doesn't decide for the party. It's a good thing. So even though they are skeptics, they are cynics, doubters, all manner of people who will say all manner of things, if the majority decides that we hold the report, we will stick to the report. The last time I checked, we haven't seen any candidate win 100%. Anybody. Have you? No, they haven't.
I have.
You talk about your name being out there. Does that mean?
I didn't say that. I'm pleased. I said that if somebody who's a comedian is using my name and is feeling hot, I'm very, very happy. I thank him because he's putting my name in there out for free. But I'll let my lawyers write to him so we share the proceeds, the revenue, because I want to employ.
Have you decided what next to do in your political career? There are rumors you could be running.
My interest now immediately is to get a united party for P0lítics&Qúit.
His interest now is to get a united party, not to be flag bearer. I mentioned this earlier. I said, look, it should not be about people's personal or parochial interests, but it should be about the interest of the political party. How to unify the party, because if you go into an election and lose miserably like that, when you were so sure that you were going to win, you were throwing money about and touting projects that didn't exist or were halfly done or partially done, and you lose like this so embarrassingly for the first time ever in Ghana's history, the best thing for you to do is to go back into conclave, because people will bicker, people will point accusing fingers, and that is where the true strength and the true ideals of leadership will come up. They didn't listen. I told a big friend of mine in the NPP, I told him that you people don't listen. And yesterday it happened. So you have boycotted. There's a press conference. And I don't want to say this. See, you play the video. I don't want to say, right now, I don't want to say it, but play the video.
Prepare ourselves. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening.
Sunrise on 3FM. The best.
It's not minority that will also say something. At least the mighty minority you can't say it's okay. So mighty minority leader actually. Okay. Chief for no. Unfortunately, we cannot. So.
Please put it down.
Yeah. So.
So you could clearly tell that this was a planned thing, right? Because the vice chairman said TV3 for. Then the general secretary said, unfortunately, he had not even finished his sentence, that he was going to say, unfortunately, we cannot admit, blah, blah, blah. And then he pushes the mic and somebody behind says, oh, he was trying to push it back. When you see that there is no space for the microphone to angle, keep the video on. You see that there's no space for the microphone to angle. So this is a planned thing. And then when they finish, they laugh. But on the front bench, you could see Alexander Penyo-Marking and Nana Boachi. They had a different, look on their face. I will show you another video of microphones. Play that video for me from the House of Parliament. Play.
Please put it down.
Play that video for me. So, Parliament's microphones, were destroyed by you know who. So if our friends can destroy public property, right, parliamentary property, and walk free because nobody has been punished. No, nobody has been punished. Nobody has been asked to pay for it. If they can destroy public property, ask for private man's business there. Why can't it be destroyed? You see, the attempt to want to hang the shameful and embarrassing defeat on the necks of individuals and institutions will not wash. And I've used this example before. I'll give you the same example again. If somebody gives you ingredients to prepare jollof, you have all the utensils, you have the kitchen, you have everything you need to prepare jollof rice.
Sound like you media energy no book so I so like I won't subscribe to POG Media as well or bread your subscription. No I share no for so answer so at me account. So no matter the so a year daily update yes we are able to a POG channel is so there's some POG update for. Now I say much as a year Napo can I say in sema able free a year NPP when I come here as a party in Angasano a year in teaching so at me a bar and also a hard say a man share no man's no man's officer issue ya almost a better now opposition a check papa nam a year a juma a year the NDC you are John Dramani Mahama idiom and him airboy just say any juma ketuana but you mom bullying so I come here say I saw Ghana for any say I'm sure 2020 election no say Ghana for as I could the ballot box number almost over out to Maba at the NDC so much also no more on my power almost airboy the moment on my Ghana.
And then the jollof turns out bad, it's burnt, it's soggy, it's salty and everything else. You blame the rice, that the rice was too soft. You blame all the other ingredients. You blame the kitchen, you blame the stove, you blame, the water, you blame everything else. But you who prepared the jollof that is bad, you say you are not to blame. You are not an honest person. And that is what some elements within the NPP are doing with the tacit approval of the entirety of the political party. What you cannot do is to remember what was said in 1839, that the pen is mightier than the sword. Even in power, when you said, we have boycotted, you still lost the election. Even with the benefit of power, with all the harassment and everything else, you had lost the election. So even in power, when you said we have boycotted and lost the elections, in opposition, when you have to actually be heard properly, what is the need of a boycott? That's why I said that it all boils up. Leadership is cost. Everything else is effect. It started with Parliament. And I tell you, 16 is my witness. Toby W is my witness. When the VRA dam spillage happened, you remember that? We went to do, an outside broadcast at Mepe. Kojo Nkrumah was the Minister for Information at the time. He came there with Saji, came there with the former regional minister for the voter region, what's his name, Dr. Lecha. They came there in an interaction with Dr. Bawumia, everybody else. We were there. We were the only media house who had come to set up. Toby Jablu, Toby Fiti, they are witnesses. We had set up. We went there without knowing that they had come there because the information we had got that they were going somewhere else and the hall had been prepared. But we got some inside information. So we went to set up where they had intended to come to distribute some items. When we got there, we set up with our pull-up banners, and then we had our PA system. Solution was the technical man on duty. Then we connected it so that when you come, you use one microphone. It is live on 3FM, live on TV3, and you can also address the people on the ground. Use their monitors. When we got in there, I handed the microphone with the TV3 and 3FM logo to Kojo Akroma. Sixtus is my witness. He was information minister. We did not find that microphone until the program had ended. But regardless, we spoke to Kojo on the midday news. And he, if he's truthful enough, he will say it. On that same occasion, the MC who was there at the time said that we should take down our banners. He spoke into the microphone. Kojo was there as Minister for Information. He said nothing about it. You see why we keep dropping on the Press Freedom Index? You see why we have dropped? They say we complain too much. It got to a point where we're even told that we don't even know how to practice the work. Meanwhile, if you look at the number of years that some of us have practiced, we may have even practiced longer than some of the people who made those claims in the past that we had not practiced and were not doing well. We were working before they came. But that is how it is. So let me reiterate. The attempt to hang the defeat on the necks of individuals and institutions will not work. And this is also a diversionary tactic. The ECG missing containers have not been finalized. That matter will be dealt with in full. The alleged cocaine and money laundering issue by Osofo Fojo will have to be dealt with in full. People are asking for the head of the Chief Justice. That matter will have to be dealt with in full. And yes, they don't live back. Akufo was talking about how junior Supreme Court people had been empaneled and how senior Supreme Court people, including the senior most and many others, had been ignored. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I've not learned the law. I've not read it, so I cannot see it. But he's a lawyer. He is saying that he put it on his Facebook page. So who empaneled those people? I don't know. Was it the Chief Justice? I don't know. If you are looking for who to blame, Musa Dankwa and his Global Info Analytics have done a very, very extensive work. Let's look at it. Responsibility for NPP defeat in the 2024 elections. Kennedy Ejapong, 9%. Members of Parliament, 26%. Government appointees, 32%. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, 33%. Dr. Bawumia, 37% of the people said you are responsible. Ken Oporiata, 40%. Nana Akuffo Addo, 68%. Where did you find the media in there? Where did you find civil society organizations? Where did you find it there? I'm saying that we have been here before. We have been here before. President Mahama now, when he lost the election, said there was a media cabal. You remember that? When the NPP lost the 2024 elections, they said, oh, some media houses contributed to their loss. But if you read this, we are not part. There's no media house. And up until tomorrow, the pen will remain mightier than the sword. It was said in 18-something. The pen will remain mightier than the sword. Now, look at the methodology that they used. The sample size is 7,915. Sample frame is 2,024 voters. Sample of deployment is 84 constituencies who are randomly selected nationwide, and samples are located based on the contribution of each polling station to the National Register. Sample method, probability, random sampling method were used in the field work. Confidence level 99%, margin of error plus or minus 1.48%. Survey type, live computer assisted personal interviews copy. Date of interview 28 March to 1st of April 2025. Now, sample size 522, the web survey, right? The sample size, same, online thing. So Musa Dankwa has done an extensive job. And I say that when the NDC lost the elections in 2016, They didn't beat the media. They didn't throw their microphones away. They didn't boycott any media house. What they did was to have the venerable, the late Professor Kwesi Botwe go into a conclave. They worked at it. They came back in 2024 and beat you like pop. You have Professor Michael Quay. Yesterday, he was asked a very simple question by a journalist, I think from Joy News, that look, Sarah Addo, whose questions remain unanswered by the way, which are the most critical questions. She's asked very sensible questions, but nobody wants to answer because you cannot answer. So you have to attack. Sarah Addo said, Prof, if you want to really understand how and why you lost the elections, you must first of all begin from your constituency where your son stood and lost to a first timer. What do you have to say? The prof pushed away the microphone and walked straight and sat in his car and went away. What does it tell you? There are key people within the NPP. And I'll just stick to those who wanted to be president of this republic on the ticket of the NPP. What did Engineer Dainimo not say? I sat and had a one-on-one conversation with him. What did Engineer Kwabena Japan not say? I sat and had a one-on-one conversation with him. What did Kennedy Japan not say? Roland sat and had a one-on-one conversation with him. Because on that occasion where they asked him who I was after he had insulted me, he said he didn't even know me. But somebody had made him believe, just like they made you believe that after the elections I have not beaten because my mouth is full. That's how it started. My mouth is full. My God, it's power. I've taken him here. I've taken him there. So attack the individual. But why ya ferry? Because when you send the likes of Dennis Abuaji, Nana Damwa, and all those people, Stika, and all those people to come and start saying, they prepare review, they sit down on TV3, and before they start, they say they want to respond to an editorial. And they take 10 minutes to respond to the editorial. It didn't do anything. Because the truth is only one. Find me that George Orwell thing. The truth is only one. And you must look yourselves in the face and be honest with yourselves and say to yourselves that we did wrong by the people. We did wrong by the people. I saw this somewhere in the United Kingdom. That's for the UK pictures. I'll keep giving it to you. You can say it's Maldives. I don't care. This is what I saw. It says liberty means anything at all. It means that the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. By George Orwell. Liberty means anything at all. It means the right to tell people.
Medasi Soji Bre now come on a bura a year in Sema and also be told Jano. I said, also subscribe here, Meshe, so better post subscription, send it down, so be to me a year content, a year POG, Branty, and the person, and I saw person share what and I saw share comments, or bet me so abo a rather comment section on our wedding come on a POG Media Branty, about now you have a mouth a more. I mean, I say, so J Bre, and my POG, a year media, a message.